And just beyond, still setting out the same net, the DriftNet ship itself, the first of several in the area.
Yeah, it's the Japanese, Gen E1 Maru, number 68. And they're setting their nets, over.
Okay, roger that. We're homing in on that position you gave us for their beacon, so we plan to be there within the next 8 or 9 minutes, and we'll slow down and go about our net retrieval, over.
Hey, Mark. We're headed right now to a beacon. We've been given the position by the Abbey, so we want to get as ready as possible with our net retrieval gear.
The Sea Shepherd 2 was picking it up. On the other end of the net, the DriftNetter was laying it down. We in the Edward Abbey at the time were following the net setter, hoping that by morning when they came around to pick it up, there'd be the Sea Shepherd 2 and we'd have them. That in fact happened, but quite frankly it was very difficult for us to pick up net. They picked it up at 10 knots. We couldn't pick up any at all, hardly any at all. We would get stuck, we weren't really set up for it, the prop would get fouled, so it was quite difficult on our end. But the very fact that we tried, we brought some home, we wrapped actually the White House with it at one time around the fence of the White House, and we used it for various, to explain to people exactly what was going on. But the good part was, we were waiting when they came back.
With the nets taken care of, our next job was to shut down the DriftNet operation.
This is Sea Shepherd. Stop your engines. Stop your engines. You'll not be harmed.
The question people are always asking is, how do we get away with it? Ramming ships at sea is without question illegal. I have a theory about this. I believe the navies of the world are actually glad to have us out there, doing what they wish they could do, but can't, for political reasons. Like those Russians we passed, cheering us on during a war game. The navies watch us with their big spy satellites ramming DriftNet ships, wishing they could do the same. And as long as we don't hurt anybody, they politely look the other way.
Why would you have to ram the boat? Can you not speak to these people and maybe negotiate some sort of a settlement?
All the negotiations in the world haven't stopped them so far in the North Pacific. They put out about a million and possibly 2 million miles of net every season. So Captain Watson had decided that negotiation time was over and it was time to go in there and make a very specific statement. Over.
As everybody from Mandela to even Gandhi understood, past a certain point, if it's not working, you've got no choice but to get on with a war.
The prime directive of the Sea Shepherd prevents us from risking injury to anyone, which means we are not allowed to sink an enemy ship at sea or harm anyone on board. But we are allowed to put them out of business by knocking off the power block, the machine they use to haul in nets, which hangs conveniently over the side of their ship.
We're coming up on the net. Watson's getting ready to give them a blast of the horn to let them know.
Abort! Abort! Abort!
The crew of the enemy ship came forward to watch, which put them at risk of injury, forcing Watson to turn away at the last moment.
I wouldn't back off. I had to swerve away at the last moment. I couldn't hit him. So we give up, eh? Do we? Is that it?
No, they're working on it.
Well, we've lost some, yes.
How was the race? Are a lot more boats ahead?
The next ship in the fleet decided to make a run for it.
And we're going for a third one before the other two even radioed and tell her what was happening. The first DriftNetter we hit didn't even warn the second one. And they're all in the same fleet. So I don't know what was going on, but we were going to hit them until they were gone. There were 6 in the area. We got the first 2. We went after the third one. Actually, someone radioed. I don't speak Japanese. Someone radioed them and told them something. They cut their net and they took off. But all in all, we got the whole fleet of 6 ships out of the area. I mean, it was a small victory, of course, with 1,800 ships, but it represented something that no one had done before. We really showed them that they were illegal. We knew it. We wanted them gone, and we were willing to make them go, and whatever it took. It was back in the day of not instant press. We talked about it on the radio. We didn't show pictures till we got home 2 weeks later, but the minute we did, We called the Japanese embassy and asked them, hey, we're in town, we whacked a couple of your ships, you want to arrest Watson? They said, no, it didn't happen. We said, watch the news. And it was all over America, and it changed the whole perspective of what people thought about these nets. For the first time, they actually paid attention because there were people out there willing to risk it all to do something about them. That's what it takes sometimes.